Actually, I'll wait for you to give me the clue as to when we need to get started. Looks like we have quite a few participants, but I want to make sure that we give everybody ample time to be a part of this meeting.
Yes, we can definitely wait a minute or two. Get a
Okay.
few stragglers.
Okay. Hi, Kelly. Kelly, it's so good to see you.
I was muted, sorry. Hi, Loretta, how are you?
Good, good, good. Thanks for being a part of this meeting tonight.
Thanks for having me. See a lot of great familiar faces.
I think we're okay now, Loretta, whenever you are ready.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. First of all, just let me say, I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us tonight, so I can give you an update. I'm always excited to give you an update on where we are at the council. But at this time, I want to, before I get started, I want to acknowledge any board members. I want to acknowledge our board chair. I know she is on the call tonight. I want to acknowledge her and any board members. Thank you all for coming and being a part of this meeting as well. So I'm not gonna hold you up. I want to go ahead and dive right on into this. Let's go ahead and get started. I ask that you take your devices and put them on mute for right now. And we'll definitely give you time for questions that you may have at the end of the meeting. So, and with that said, let's go ahead and do our Girl Scout promise. Again, I ask that you put your devices on mute and I will say the Girl Scout promise. On my honor, I will try to serve God and our country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. Thank you. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. We all know that for the past 3 years, you know, what we have been doing here. For the past 3 years, the Girl Scouts of Southern Illinois have been moving toward having a premium Girl Scout experience for girls. Tonight, I not only want to give you an update on where we are on our programs as a whole, but on our membership. I want to give you an update on our finances and our fundraising, because as you know, we have been going through a process of transformation. And you may ask, why? To make us better and to carry out our mission to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who's going to make our world a better place. Now, I'm so excited about our council because we are more, I feel we are more unified and stable. Our membership numbers continue to increase. As of today, we are at 90% toward our membership goal for 2022. Now, these numbers includes girls and adults. So with our agenda, you can see I'm gonna talk about fund development, and we'll give you a financial update. I'm gonna talk about the Girl Scout Experience Fund. I'm gonna talk about Camp Torquay. I'm going to talk about the annual meeting. I'm going to talk about the Glen Carbon office. I'm going to give you an update from GSUSA, social media reminder, cookies and adventurefuls updates, and of course, time for questions and answers at the end. As I stated to you before, we have been moving. Why? We have been moving. I'm excited because we're stable and our membership numbers are continuing to climb in the way of fund development. Our friends and donors are always so generous to us. We surpassed our year-end gifts by a landslide and are so thankful for our supporters' generosity. All of you, thank you. Your gifts help make our girls more and learn more and know more. A special announcement will be an upcoming, to our upcoming service units. It's gonna be about our in-person gala. We are going to have our in-person gala this year on September the 10th at the Regency Center in O'Fallon. It will start at 5 o'clock. And we have a theme this year, and that theme is the Girl Scout difference. Now, we all know what the Girl Scout difference makes. Our keynote speaker, I'm so excited when Heidi and I got this individual on the phone, we were so excited that she accepted to be our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this year is a NASA astronaut, Sandra Magnus. She's going to be our keynote speaker for our gala this year. Fund Development have received grants of $5,000 from Phillips 66, $1,000. All of these grants that they have been receiving help us support our girls even more. We have destination grants that have funds that need to be spent. I encourage you to contact Mary for more information on that. Now, you all know when I first got here, you were very interested in knowing more about our finances. And I promised you that I would keep you up to date on where we are with our finances. Now, GSUSA requires our council to have at least 6 months of reserves. Now, at the end of 2021, we were at 27 months of reserves. We have a long way. We have come a long way to get where we are with our finances. Although we are ending the year with a deficit, I want you all to know that in 2020, we did furlough staff and we heard the impact and we know how it felt. In 2021, with the decrease in cookie sales as a result of the pandemic and less girls selling, we've had to adjust and revise our operating budget. I also want to note that operations goal is to balance the operation budget without a deficit. Our audit is still in progress and the financials will be presented at the annual meeting. We are taking a good hard look at our finance department and with our new CEO, Tammy Kopletsky. She is creating a team to focus just on that. The Girl Scout Experience Fund. I want to give you an update on the Girl Scout Experience Fund. Now, I know many of you are wondering about the Girl Scout Experience Fund. The proceeds from the investment earnings will help underwrite the cost of girls to fulfill their Girl Scout experience. The Girl Scout Experience Fund Committee, made up of volunteers and staff and board members, has been working and looking at how to best utilize these funds and putting a policy in place for all of us to follow. After working many long hours, and I emphasize many long hours, the Girl Scout Experience Fund Committee presented the policy to the Board of Directors this past month, and the policy was approved with some very minor changes. The committee will be meeting this week, and we will update you on when we will be able to get this process started. Some of you, I don't know if any of you had a chance to go out and look at Camp Torquay. I cannot wait to share with you the beautiful updates that Wayne and Tyler and his team have been working on at Camp Torquay. If you haven't been to camp recently, you should go out there and look. Some of our updates that have been completed were all ADA upgrades. They've been completed. Updates to pumpkin patch is ongoing. Hedge apple roof is completed. Tuckaway fire pit completed. Shower house completed. Remodel is underway, and it will be completed this spring. The spring cleanup day is going to be Sunday, April the 24th, from 1 to 5 p.m. Again, beautiful things is happening out at Camp Torquay. And if you have not been out there, I encourage you all to please go out and look at some of the updates. Wayne was telling me today that he had a great group of volunteers and girls out there this weekend, and you all are enjoying that camp. Camp Torquay fees increase. At our last town hall meeting, I promised to keep you updated on Camp Torquay unit price changes. I have them for you tonight, and we can make and we can make sure that you can make sure that these are shared again with you at your service units and update you on the camp page as soon as we can. We will make sure that happens. Now, our property committee met recently and had plenty of conversation. When I say plenty of conversation, I do mean plenty of conversations around the structure and what the structure should look like as we move forward. These prices will be for October 1, 2022 to September 30th, 2023. Those prices are in front of you. Pumpkin Patch A, Pumpkin Patch B, Tuckaway, Lasetta, Lakota Cove, Hedge Apple, and day use only. Again, if you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer them at the end or put them in the chat box. 2-night minimum on the overnights, effective fiscal year 2023 camp season. Annual meeting is right around the corner and it's coming up. Our annual meeting is scheduled for the morning of April the 2nd from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, including a breakfast at the Collinsville Gateway Conference Center. Delegate training will be available online. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. This year, we will be moving our adult awards to a celebration in conjunction with the Higher Girl Awards, which will be held on Sunday, May the 15th at the Doubletree Hotel. Listen to what I'm saying, in Mount Vernon. More details to come for that. Now, as I have stated to you before in previous meetings, that we have been assessing ways to better serve our members, you, our volunteers. Now with most of the staff having the ability to work remotely, the need for a large office space is far less than it used to be. The board has voted to sell the Glen Carbon office. Therefore, we will be moving from a single large office setting to smaller resource centers. Now, these resource centers will be placed in strategic locations throughout our council. They are intended to provide a visible location in our communities to attract new members, but will also provide a retail presence and a space for you, our volunteers, to meet with each other or staff. We realize the commute to the Glen Carbon office or the shop can be challenging for our volunteers. So our goal is to provide spaces that are easy access for all of our members, so more of your time can be spent focused on our top priority and your top priority, and that is our girls. The funding for the resource center will come from the sale of the Glen Carbon office. Therefore, no resource centers will be placed until the sale of the Glen Carbon office has occurred. We will be placing a for sale sign in front of the Glen Carbon office soon, and I will keep you updated with the plans for the resource centers as they develop. A few updates from the Girl Scouts of the USA. We received a 2-year charter beginning this year, and we want to continue this trend for years to come. We want to extend it. We want a 3-year. So therefore, we must be sure that our membership growth and our finances continue to move in the right direction. Now, for the past 18 months, our national office have been on a search for a new CEO for the Girl Scouts of the USA. And I'm happy to announce to you tonight that our new CEO position is now filled. Sophia Chang is the new CEO for the Girl Scouts of the USA. Social media. I want to talk a little bit about social media. Social media is a positive avenue for us to communicate with one another and is an instant access communication channel and give us the ability to spread information quickly. Our Facebook groups like Leaders Lounge are a great place to collaborate. It's a great place to collaborate with and ask questions of each other. If you have a question that needs to be addressed by the council, we ask that you can continue to direct those questions to customer care. Robin and her team is standing readily to support you and answer those questions, sending them an email. In addition, I like to remind everyone, when it comes to social media, please, let's practice the Girl Scout law when engaging in these groups. We all have the same purpose, and that is to give our girls the best possible leadership experience. Please keep that in mind and be a sister to every Girl Scout when engaging in social media. At this time, I want to talk a little bit about cookies. And I'm so glad that Kelly is here, but I'm going to turn it over to Kelly in just a few minutes. It's Girl Scout cookie time, and I'm excited about Girl Scout cookies this coming cookie season, and I am looking forward to a great year. It's already started. This year, we are doing well with our digital cookies, and we will continue that with our new direct sale. The numbers are looking very promising to go. And I know if we continue to support each other and to support our girls, we are going to succeed. This year, we are so excited about moving to a direct sale. I invite you to spread the awareness in our areas about cookies, especially on National Cookie Weekend in February. You all got communication from me about what's going on with our wonderful Adventureful cookies. And many of you were wondering why. At this time, I'm so happy that we have our Little Brownie representative, Kelly Jensen. Kelly is going to give us an update on Adventurefuls and answer any questions that you might have about Adventurefuls. Kelly, I'd like to turn it over to you at this time.
Great. Thank you, Loretta. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me on the call this evening. If anybody remembers, I used to be with council almost 4 years ago, so time kind of flies, definitely. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that we have run into a shortage with our Adventureful cookie, had to deal with labor shortages and production and not getting the labor at the bakery. It's made at another facility, so we didn't have control over the labor issues, and therefore we ran into a shortage with that cookie. So we are working with the other baker as well as ramping up production to fill any cookie needs to fill the cookies as they come along. But that did limit us in being able to provide a certain amount of product to councils when they place their initial order to protect our girl orders. And then knowing once they become more available, we should be able to put them into the cupboards whenever the council, whenever they're available, and we can get them to your council's hands and your agent's hands. So I just kind of wanted to hop onto this call. One, it's a really delicious cookie. I hope everybody, when they've had a chance to try it, they love it because it's really good. But also to apologize that we did run into a production shortage with this cookie itself. Not something obviously that we anticipated. I feel awful for the volunteers that get asked for this cookie, but we have other 8 delicious varieties that our girls can sell, and we know that they'll do a really, really good job of them. So we are good in the Thin Mints, the Tagalongs, the Samoas, you know, the tried and true brands that our customers know and love, Do-si-dos and Trefoils for all that are out there too, and the new Lemon Ups. So we have a lot of great other varieties that are out there. But I did want to hop onto this call because I do want you to know that you obviously have the baker's sincerest apology that we're in this situation. We're doing everything we can to rectify it and get as much product into your council's hands as soon as possible. But it did force Katie and Jordan to kind of limit the amount of quantities that were available to the troops because we were limited on availability for your council. So we could spread it out to all councils. We had to put a limit in place at this current time, with knowing that we'll have some in the later part of the sale.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. You know, we go through a lot of changes. We went through a lot of change with the pandemic and so on and so forth, but there's always one thing that stays constant. People love Girl Scout cookies. Doesn't matter the flavor, they love Girl Scout cookies. And as long as there's Girl Scout cookies, no worries, people are going to buy them. At this time, I'd like to open it up for any questions you may have. Ashley, I don't know if I should turn it over to you and you can start, but I'd like to open it up for any questions.
Yep, sure. Any questions, just raise your hand or acknowledge in one way or another. You can also use the chat log if that's easier.
Again, I can't say thank you all enough. I'm always excited to give you an update on what's going on at the council. Always know that Our doors hang on the hinges of welcome. You're always welcome to ask us questions or send us an email. If there's something that you have a question on, please let us know.
Can you clarify the cost of camp? Is this the new prices per night? And what's going to happen with like stuff like archery and whatnot? Is all of that going up? You could just clarify like what those prices mean would be great.
The prices that I present to you tonight will be, for overnight and day use. Okay. I don't think I talked at all about the equipment. And so I did not, Kara, to let you know, I did not talk about the equipment. I don't know that that is changing. I think it will stay as it is right now.
Loretta,
Mm-hmm.
if I can just, hi, this is Jessica. If I can introduce myself for those of you I haven't met, or maybe I haven't been on a phone call with you. My name is Jessica Upchurch, the Chief Operating Officer here at Girl Scouts of Illinois. I'm going to introduce Robin Zeller. A lot of you know her or have talked to her. She's a friendly voice in customer care. She is our Director of Customer Experience. I'd like to hand the virtual mic over to her to really do a walkthrough of what the new camp pricing really looks like. And I think this will help clarify some of the questions that you have. Robin?
Thanks, Jess. Hi, everyone. So as Loretta mentioned, the current price for day use is $50 a day, and that is not changing. So rest assured, day use is not changing. These new prices will go into effect October 1st, and they are for overnight only, but there is a 2-night minimum. So essentially you can take these prices and double them, right? So Pumpkin Patch A is $90 per night, but there's a 2-night minimum for overnight. So it will be $180. And the reason these are all a little bit different is because the Property Task Force just thought it would be a little more equitable to price them according to amenities and capacities for sleeping. So the capacities don't really come into play for day use. So that's why day use is remaining as is for now. But for the upcoming year, these are the camp fees that will be in place. So if you have a reservation already in for October or beyond, those prices will be honored, of course, as they currently are. The platform that we use for camp reservations is not open right now to make reservations at the new rate this far in advance. So what I've done is I have opened up the calendar for online reservations through through September 30th of 2022. So you can still go on and make your reservations just like normal at the current rates through September 30th. As soon as our vendor has let us know that they've been able to work out the reservation for a future date with a price increase, as soon as they let us know, we will get an email out to y'all immediately. So you will know. So that's the little bit about the reservation system, which of course is out of our control. I do want to let you know that entire facility is still available. You simply would multiply you would add up the prices and get to a total, and then you would multiply that by 2, and that would be your entire facility fee. Now, if you reserve that way, entire facility, you're locked into everything. However, if you want pretty much entire facility, but maybe not Hedge Apple, you can leave that open for another troop to come and do, a day hike or whatever, or even some tent camping. And then you would just go in and make your reservation for whatever weekend you wanted, and you would just reserve Pumpkin Patch A, B, Tuckaway, Lasetta, and Lakota Cove. So you could drop off Hedgeapple if you wanted to. But if you select entire facility, it's gonna add them all up and multiply for you. So that's just a little bit of, information that maybe y'all hadn't thought about before. The other thing I wanted to bring up is for years and years, we had, the system set up where you could not reserve camp less than 10 days out. Wayne has begged for us to change that, and we did change it several months ago, but maybe some of you on here weren't on the last time we talked about this. So camp is now open for reservations up to 3 days in advance. So what that does is if someone makes the reservation many months ahead and then they cancel it, but you looked and it was booked, you might want to check back. You can either check back for the availability on the calendar, or you can just give customer care a call or send us an email. We'll be happy to check for you, because they could have, maybe half their people dropped out and they had to change their date, or, maybe their first aid person canceled and they just can't go. So they had to change their date. So please, 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 if you checked a month or 2 months out and it was booked and you were bummed, check back. Please check back. We do not want camp empty just because the people who had it had to cancel and then no one else, knew it was available. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm not really watching the chat log, so.
Ashley, do you want to ask those questions that people have?
Yes. So in regards to the camps, the spring cleanup day, April 24th. Let's see. Will there be stores will there be stores with Girl Scout merchandise at the new resource centers?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think we got 2 hands. I saw
Mhm.
April and I saw Donna. Who wants to go first?
April, go ahead with your question.
Okay, so sorry, got some noise in the background here. My question is, for the girls that are applying for the camperships for residence camps, when will they be notified that they are receiving those? Because camp registrations are starting to fill up already. And I don't want my girls to miss the opportunity to go to camp because we're waiting to find out if they're available for a scholarship. So I don't know if you're waiting. Oh, go ahead.
As soon as they're approved, we get notified in customer care, and we send out the email typically that day. Unless it's later in the day, then it's the next day. We're notifying the parents as soon as they're approved. We notify them with an email stating the amount that they're approved for. We reiterate the event that they did sign up for, just in case they went, oh my gosh, I typed the wrong thing. So we're kind of reiterating a lot of the details that were in the application, but they're going out now, and there's none in the queue now. So everyone who has applied and have been approved. Now this is for campership. We're not talking about Girl Experience Fund. So for camperships, as soon as they're approved and sent to us, customer care will send an email to the parent immediately, or whoever applied, I guess, immediately.
So if they are not approved, they just do not receive an email, or they receive an email saying.
We also, yes, we have email templates set up for both non-approval and approval. So if someone applied and they said they haven't heard anything for a while, they may want to check back. Maybe, hopefully the system is set up that they should get an automated response once they hit submit. So that lets them know, yes, it went through. But if you haven't heard anything, then yes, please reach out.
Okay, definitely. Thank you.
I think Donna, your hand's up. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. I just want to get clarification on the camp fees for Torquay. Is that for troops and service units?
Yes, it's for anyone. Yes, absolutely, Donna. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Jess, I'm going to give a pause for you, or Tammy, if you guys have anything that you'd like to add or say.
I just want to add, there is a question that did come across in the question log about adult awards, and Ashley answered it in the question log. And I think it was mentioned, of course, when you were talking, and I just want to reiterate it out loud that the annual meeting is a business meeting only. The adult awards and the higher girl awards will be paired together in a celebration in May in Mount Vernon. So those will be completely separate from the annual meeting this year. And more details will be coming about that celebration in May. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Jess.
Mhm.
Also wanted to note also that in 2023, we will have a national convention. And we're going to be looking at, and they normally have the national convention in October. I think in 2023, it's going to be in July. Is that right, Ashley? I think so, in July, in Orlando, Florida. Wow. So we'll keep you updated when it comes to the national convention as well. Any other questions?
Loretta, there was quite a bit back here on the chat log. There's questions about Janice Monroe. Where can we find the actual finance breakdown? Do you want to answer that about the?
Yes. As I stated in my presentation, Janice, we have not, our audit has not been totally completed. The auditor is still working on it. As soon as that information is given to us, I'm glad to share that. And as I stated when I was talking earlier, our complete financials will be available at the annual meeting.
Yeah. And they're always uploaded to the website as well, as soon as they're available to us.
Exactly. Any other questions? If there is not any more questions, I want to thank you again for taking the time to meet with us. One of the things that I promised when I first got here is that I always have communication with you volunteers at town hall meetings. These meetings have been very successful. Thank you so much for your time. And hopefully I will see many of you at our annual meeting. And I encourage all of you, get out to camp and look and see what's going on. You will not be disappointed. Thank you again, and good night to all of you.